Hi, welcome for our online training and placements. It's a basic general question whenever we attend for any interview. They'll ask us, can you introduce yourself or tell me what is your role or responsibilities in our current project, or tell me day-to-day activities, what you are doing in the current project. Let's say we are going to apply as Oracle Fusion Cloud Finance Consultant. We are applying as Oracle Fusion Cloud Financial Consultant, having experience with 4 years of experience. Okay. So whenever we are going to introduce ourselves, let's say our name is Kiran. So myself, this is Kiran. I completed my graduation in 2018. After that, I started my career as Oracle Fusion Cloud Finance Consultant. And I've been working with Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials last 4 years. I involved in account payables, account receivables, general ledger, cash management, expenses module, both in implementation as well as in support projects. In my 4 years of experience, I have done 4 projects, out of that 2 implementations and 2 support projects. Currently, I'm working for so-and-so client, and this project has started around 1 year ago. We started with implementation. I involved right from the beginning, designing, development, testing, production, and support. I'm flexible to interact with the clients, gather the requirements, prepare OEM technology documents, and then go for designing the business cycle, and then go for deployment, and also doing the setups. When it comes for the modules, I'm flexible with APAR and GL. I have fully involved, and I'm also partially clear with the fixed assets and taxes and cash management as well as the expenses module. And I'm comfortable to work as an independent and a team member in the current project, either it is support or implementation, in any of the shift timings according to the organization requirement. And I'm flexible to go ahead with the GL module, AP and AR. If necessary, I'm comfortable to go for learn myself taxes and fixed assets and work. This is how we have to go for introduce ourselves in Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials. It means we are going to start with our name, and then we are going to start with our education and passed out year. We will tell that our highest educational qualification. Let's say we completed my graduation in 2018, and we are telling that after that I started my career, right? In 2018, whatever it is, I started working with Oracle Cloud Finance. And we are telling that how many projects we have involved, and in that how many implementations, how about how many support. And we have cleared that in current project is 1 year back started. It was started with implementation, and currently support is going on. And currently this project has got all the options which we have, like implementation and support, and I have involved in the development as well as in the support and testing of this project. That's what we are telling. And we are telling to the interviewer that I'm flexible in implementation projects, support projects, and whatever the modules we are flexible that we are supposed to explain. And we don't need to explain the detail of the setups. We will just high level. I'm flexible to work with GL, APR, as well as the cash management and expense. If required organization, I'm comfortable to go with the assets and taxes. It doesn't mean, it means that I don't have much experience about assets and taxes, and these modules I'm flexible. Okay. And also we are informing to the interviewer that we have involved different phases of the application. That's how we are supposed to give an introduction. It will be very less time, not more than 2 minutes, or 2 to 3 minutes maximum. And we have to cover our educational in a single statement, and then about our experience, career, and starting technology. In case if you say that I worked earlier with some other .NET technologies, we can say that I started my career in IT in 2016. Initially, I started my career as Microsoft .NET developer. I worked around 3 years. After completion of this, I started working with Oracle Fusion Cloud. In Fusion Cloud, last 4 years, I have been involving in implementation, support project, and financials modules. As a team member, I have worked with all these 4 two implementation and two support projects in these modules. And I'm comfortable to work as a team member individually as well as a group of team. Within the team, I'm ready to go for work with others and as well as the preparation of documentation as well as uh, testing and deliver to the client, comfortable to interact with the business users, on-site coordinators. Like this, we have to go for queue. And we can say finally, I'm an individual contributor. It means individually I can work. Means if you assign any task, I'm ready to go through myself and I'm ready to go for explore and interact with the client, gather the requirements and prepare that and go for closing. That's how we have to go for give the introduction in a very shorter way. Then they'll come up, yes, okay. So you tell that you started your career as .NET. What was your role? We can say technically and whatever role we did. Okay, tell me what is your role currently? What is your project right now? Who is your client? Which countries they have implemented? What is your client business? How many legal entities they have? How many business units they have? And what is their ledger? And what is chart of accounting structure? How many segments they have? Have you defined the ledger or someone else has defined? Okay. And tell me a few things what you have done, the setups in account payables or account receivables or in general ledger. And they will be expecting this all options from this. And can you tell me what component you are working right now? For example, the client says that the interviewer will ask you, can you tell me current object which you are working? We can say I'm working in account payables module right now. I'm working with pay groups, creating the pay groups and assigning these pay groups to the supplier sites so that we will be having the supplier sites under some group because we wanted to go for a payment process request. In the payment process request, we would like client would like to have some of the templates by based on the pay group so that we can go ahead with this pay group options. That's how we are supposed to go for have this all options. And one component we should be very clear for that. So whatever the component, 100% they'll ask the questions. Okay, what is the requirement? What you are doing, and how you are going to deliver that to the client? How you are going to test it? That we must have explore on that particular component. For example, if we say that I'm currently working on the data conversion. Okay, you are working on data conversion. Which template you are using? It means are you using spreadsheet data loader or are you using FBDI file-based data import? So we have to tell that which component we are working, supplier or invoice or purchase order or requisition. We can say, for example, I'm working for account payables invoice FBDA. 100% they will ask you, tell me what data you are received from your client and how you are going to prepare this data templates and then which process you are going to run and what is the procedure. After that, what you are going to perform here, like a sequence of steps for FBDA, what are the interface tables and what are the base tables. In case if you get any errors in that, where do you get that error information? How will you rectify it? So this questions they'll ask about the component. So we must be clear couple of components what we are working in the current project, and then we have to explain that particular component. 100% will get a cross questions on that particular component. Okay. Then another one is if they ask us, tell me what is your role in this project or what is your day-to-day activity in the project. Generally, when we are working in the project, the first thing when we connect to the day starts in the office, what we will do is we'll connect to the Microsoft Outlook and we'll check our inbox emails and what mails we have received because we are working in support project. 100% your client might be using some support tool, ServiceNow or any other ticketing tool they will be using. Okay. So this ticketing tool we are going to have, we will be having this ticketing tool here. 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. So here, day-to-day activities means we have to tell them that when the day starts, first I'll be going for our Microsoft Outlook and we'll check what mails we have received, any auto-generated mails regarding the tickets assigned to me, or some other team members might be working, any CVRT issues are there that we'll be getting. So in our name, whatever the tickets are there, that we are going to cross-check the status of the ticket and what is the issue and severity, and we'll find out who has sent, and if any information is required, we'll try to send an email or we'll try to have a scheduled call. We'll block the calendar and then we'll have a discussion. If everything is input is available, then we'll start working on the component, and meanwhile we'll update that yes, work started working, completed and so on so time, maybe end of the day or tomorrow, or it may take couple of days. So that communication is very much important. We are supposed to tell to the person who has raised started working on that, maybe it will complete at end of the day or like that. Obviously, once we check the mails and give the reply, then we will have a con call, in the sense there will be a call for with all the team members. There will be telling our status. Let's say there are 10 members are working and reporting to the manager, and all these 10 members has to is supposed to explain their component and the status as well as. Okay, so in that status, we'll tell that which component we are working, what about the previous components status. For example, we already delivered some components to the client, and those components are pending for testing, and we are waiting for that result. And we cannot wait till that testing, because we do not know client when he is going to test it. Meanwhile, we'll start another component, right? So that we are supposed to tell, and when it's going to be completed. If there are any issues are there in the current component, or if you would like to communicate with any on-site coordinators or any on-site team members, will take a permission from the manager, and will directly send an email, have a calendar, have block the calendar and discuss and start working. So this is the actual process day to day. End of the day, we'll put the status mail to the manager, or we'll update that. There are some tools where we can go for update our status, daily status information and the component, like GitHub and other we have. Jira tool is there. Jira tool also is used to manage the entire project information. Who is working, when we started, what was the components, who has involved other people, what is the status, earlier what was there, current what is going on. This all information will be maintained Jira tool. So it's better to go through a couple of videos about the Jira tool. Just what this is tool, what it will do. Jira, GitHub, and ServiceNow, these all are simple tools, but don't go for in depth of that. Just have an idea what is this. Okay, so it is one of the agile. So which methodology you are working? That is one of the important question. Are you working in agile methodology or waterfall methodology? Agile methodology, nowadays all projects are going on. Difference between agile and waterfall is very simple. Agile methodology is nothing but when you get a component, you have to develop and test and deliver to the client directly. It should be closed in the production. So that is our responsibility as a team member. You are supposed to take the ownership. That's what we call it as agile methodology. When we say that it is waterfall, like earlier it was, we will just develop the components, start, they'll go for test it after some time, meanwhile we'll start working on that. But right now it's not like that. We must take the ownership till the closing of this, and after that we'll start another component. And also we should have an idea of all the components what are going on in the project. Idea in the sense, whoever is doing, like so and so team member is working on report, so and so team member is working on payment process profile, somebody is configuring on GL reconciliation, I'm working on supplier BDA. Like that, we should have the idea of that particular one. So you can just go through ServiceNow, Jira, GitHub. GitHub is basically to maintain all our documents, history of the documents. So these tools better have idea. Generally, they won't ask, so you can have an information what is what, that about the tools. This is basic questions other than the subject. What whenever they ask you, they may ask you like, if I give you some component, when can you deliver it? It depends on the module, depends on the complexity of the component, and depends on the input which you are going to provide to me. And based on that, we can deliver. For example, you are going to ask me to configure withholding tax. Okay, withholding tax setups. Then how many withholding tax setups we would like to configure, and for which suppliers you would like to go for test it. Are we clear with all the input like tax, resign code, taxes, and other tax authority tax details? If we are clear with all these things, then we will go for create and then go for deliver. It may take 3 to 4 working days. Okay, but that also we cannot confirm. Depends on the input which we have right now. Otherwise, for example, we are waiting for tax codes from the client. He is not yet confirmed the tax code. Means tax rate also is not confirmed. Then how we can deliver it without knowing that? So this type of communication we should maintain with the interviewer in a polite manner. We should not give the complaint. It should be in a polite manner. So we have to tell them that yes, I'm comfortable to deliver within 3 to 4 working days any component, but it depends again the input which we get it from the client, and if we are clear with the input, and if the component complexity is less, and if we do not have any customizations and all, we can deliver it in 2 to 3 working days, and we can go for first prepare a document, and then we will go for do the setups, and then we will perform the transactions with the testing data in the development instance, and then finally we'll go for deliver this to the client, and they can go for testing this in the testing instance, and we will do this entire process. Like that, we have to speak in polite way and a process, and we are supposed to use these official words, like whatever I have explained, like we'll prepare a document, OEM methodology, then we'll perform the setups from FSM environment, then we'll perform the testing transactions from navigator menu. After that, we will go for prepare a test cases. All this we'll do it in the development instance. Then we'll move this to the production instance, and where the client, sorry, testing instance, where the client is going to test it. The moment when we are going to speak, we are supposed to use these words. Okay, how we have to improve these words? Okay, if they ask us, can you tell me what is the purpose of credit memo? An account payables module. Credit memo is one type of invoice to decrease the supplier amount. But actually, we can say credit memo is one type of supplier account payable supplier transaction invoice. Once we create a credit memo, the supplier, it will be adjusted against the standard invoice. It will be used to decrease the supplier liability. Supplier liability. Okay. So liability word is accounting word, and amount is a general, our invoice amount means general our language. Okay. So when you start speaking about accounting words, so they feel that yes, you are having a very good experience on the project point of view. So how we have to improve these words is we have to go through the documentation. Very, very, very important. Functional consultant must have two skills to get a job or to work in the job. The first one is you should have a patience to go through the documentation. And second one is you should have a patience to prepare documentation. Subject everybody can learn. If I give one video about payment process request, 1 hour video, you can listen 1 hour video, then 1 hour you can do practice. But when you are working in the project, the requirement will it will be 20 to 30 pages. We should have a patience to go through that 20 to 30 pages of document, understand each and every line, note it down, what are the important things they are expecting, and then go for prepare a document for that, and then do the setups. Doing setups, it won't take much time. For example, if I want to prepare one distribution set, okay, we'll just go to FSM environment and choose business unit and create a distribution set. Whatever account combinations are there, we'll copy and percentage and make sure that it is 100%. And we'll go for assign this to the invoice and test it. That is development of the work and performing that and testing. But before that is the major thing. Before that, in the sense, they'll be writing in a layman language. The requirement comes in a layman language. They'll not tell directly, create a distribution set, give this percentage, give this account code. No, they won't tell like that. Very rare case. Very few projects you may get that type of clarity. Most of the projects, the requirement will be in layman language. So that we are supposed to understand. Okay. So that we are supposed to understand. So then how we have to improve our skills in like that is by going through the documentation. For example, today in our sessions, in our placement batch sessions, today we are going to talk about payment process profile. We discussed, we explained. I said that payment process request is one of the tool or one of the process, one of the feature is available in account payables. Whenever the organizations wants to make the payments to multiple suppliers at a time, based on some condition. I have some thousands of suppliers. I would like to release the funds for the first priority. based on the pay group. So some group of suppliers are there. These people comes under so and so pay group. For them, I wanted to clear first. Okay. So in that scenario, we will go through the payment process request based on the pay group or based on the payment method, or you want to clear for first so and so supplier, or you want to clear for so and so business unit, you can clear it. Okay. For that, we are going to process. When we have some thousands of checks you wanted to distribute and release, there will be different stages like selection criteria, building the formats, check printing, check printing status. This all we will be doing that. Right. So what I'll do is generally I'll explain that, okay, this is so and so what, and then we'll directly go to our application. We'll create supplier and we'll create payment method and payment group, and we'll associate with supplier site. And then we'll go for account payables module. We'll raise couple of invoices, 2, 3 or 3, 4 invoices, and we'll try to run the payment request. Out of 4 invoices, only 2 invoices will be picked up because we given some selection criteria. And after that, remaining 2 is not selected, and we'll try to make the payment. During the payment, 1 invoice has got failed, so and so reason. So there might be some issue with the business unit. Maybe you do not have the permission to make the payment for that business unit. So that this type of issues practically will get. So you have to go through that and do a couple of times practice. After that, once you are clear, okay, I'm flexible with that. Then you have to start preparing. You have to go through the documentation. So we have to just search Oracle Fusion Cloud Finance Payment Process Request. Okay, so whenever you go for search, how the payment process request will be done here. So you will be getting a lot of documents. Better go for our Oracle documentations, and then we will come to know here it is. Let's go for payment process request. Or even if we go through the OER, of course, it will internally connect for OER only, Oracle Enterprise Repository. So you will find Oracle videos. We don't need to worry about that because we have already done the practicals. So here you will come to know a lot of examples. Okay, a lot of examples with official words. Okay, when I'm going to explain, I'll be using simple English because everybody wants to should understand. But once you are clear that, let's go to the documentation and go through this. Here you can find the functional words. We'll call it as a functional words. See, early payment, discount offers based on the invoice amount. Okay, so what are the different options? A lot of options will be there, but you don't need to go through each and everything because it takes long time. It takes a lot of time. So it will take some years also if you go through the modules, everything. Whatever we have done in our classroom, practical, that you will find here in the practical information. Here you will find that. So just go through payment process request. So what is payment process request? It's a group of installments submitted for payment. Simple. A payment process request, PPR, is a group of installments submitted for payment. You can submit a payment process request on the request page. You can also create a template. Template is nothing but built-in properties. You are just going to group it and make the payment. So what are the different processes will happen here? First, it will select whatever the invoices system wants to pay to the suppliers based on our selection criteria, means eligibility criteria. Then we will have a payment attributes, nothing but bank, bank branch, bank account, the payment information, payment attributes. Then we'll go for process that payment options. Okay, so we are going for processing options. These are major high level setups which we are going to have. Payment attributes, processing options. This we are going to have it. Okay, so like this, we have to improve these words. Okay, we have to improve this words functionality. This comes based on our documentation when we go through this. This is how we are supposed to prepare for interview point of view. Okay, so first we have to understand the concept what I have explained in our classroom. Let's implement that. Couple of examples you do it. Then go through the documentation and try to go through the documentation. Better copy this information into MS Word or some notepad. For example, what is payment process request? We cannot remember each and every definitions, right? Nowadays, all classes are online, right? Every session will be recorded, and we are sharing the recorded videos that are available in the Google Drive. there are 40 to 50 videos, around 60 hours of videos, subject is there, right? So when you are going to prepare for an interview, how we can get the answer from that videos, right? So interview is there tomorrow. I cannot go through all the 50 videos, right? So we must prepare a notes. We must prepare a notes. For example, a payment process request is a group of installments submitted for the payment. So we have to maintain separate notepad or separate MS Word document. Okay. So let's, for every module, we must prepare one document, MS Word document for account payables. What is payment term? So payment term is basically is one of the object which we will be using to prepare an invoice due date. What are the different levels payment document will be specified? So we have different levels, like supplier site level, you can assign payment document, as well as supplier level also we can go for specify. And at the time of creating an invoice also, we can go for prepare a payment document, right? So like that, we have to prepare. This is very, very important. Many people says that I have done a lot of practice, but when I'm getting failed interviews, I'm not able to express the definition, because in the interviews they are expecting the exact definition and answer. We know that what is distribution set. Multiple times we have created distribution set. Multiple times we have assigned for invoice, but we are not clear what is definition. Distribution set is one of the object which we will be using to distribute the invoice amount to the different account code combinations. We'll create distribution set from FSM environment. After creating that, we'll assign this to the business unit, so that whenever we create an invoice in that business unit, automatically the invoice amount will be distributed to the different accounts. At invoice line level, we will attach this distribution set to distribute that invoice amount. Line level amount will be distributed to this. Okay. So like that, the definitions and the important things like distribution set is associated with BU directly. Payment term is assigned for reference data set, and that reference data set will be assigned to the business unit. Okay, what is payment term? What are the other options we'll set up in payment term? This all notes, it comes around 20 pages or 15 pages, not more than that. Okay, so when you have all this, for example, we are preparing for 5 modules: AP, AR, GL, cash management, and expense model, maximum 5 modules, right? So for every module, 10 to 15 pages of notes, which is having the complete definitions as well as the navigations part and also the important things. Okay, so every day, if we spend 20 minutes of time, 20 minutes of time, go through all that particular notes, whatever we have prepared, all the 5 documents. Okay, 5 MS Word documents. If we go through, yes, everything comes into your mind. There are two options. One, go to the Google Drive, go through all the 50 hours of videos is one option. Go through these 5 documents. Each document is having around 8 to 10 pages. Which one is better? So the second option is better. Let's prepare the document for every module. Okay. So whatever the questions you are not clear, whatever the question, the definition you are not clear, just ping me in our Telegram group, or we have already our Telegram group, right? Ping me immediately. I'll go for give the reply. Even if I may not be clear some of the questions, I'll try to get it from my team members, or I'll search it in Google, or there are n number of professionals who are providing the information in YouTube and blogs and other ways. I will try to get it and summarize and try to give the answers. Okay, so let's start doing that today itself. It may take 4 to 5 days, not more than that. 4 to 5 working days it will take to prepare a notes for this. When your notes is on your hand, then you feel that somebody says, I'm not confident. I feel that I have not. I have done each and every. I did withholding tax. I did prepayment invoice, credit memo, debit memo, and I have done the supplier refund. I did payment process. Everything I have done, but I'm not sure. I'm not able to explain the answer. What is prepayment? If they ask us what is prepayment invoice, right? So in that scenario will be, it will be helpful. This is the better opportunity, better way to remember everything and go through that. Okay, let's start from today doing in this way, then we can go for achieve the better results in the interview point of view. Okay, thank you.